is a compilation that we showed last Friday on the Nightly News. But this is Obama, and there's hundreds of these in speeches saying Congress is the problem. Should I act without Congress? Boy, it'd be a lot easier if I didn't have Congress. If I could just do whatever I want, getting the crowds to cheer. He's like a parrot testing its perch. You know, a parrot will test to see if a branch is safe. He's testing. And the system's testing. He's being told, test the perch, see if they'll bend over for enslavement, see if they'll let us put handcuffs on them. That's what they're doing. The TSA's all for their pedophile training of children, all of it. They're just a pack of ruthless, buck-toothed, cross-eyed, wart-covered, chicken-neck vampires that can't even hardly walk spiritually. I mean, they're a joke. They are bug-eyed, blind zombies. I don't understand the fear of them. And a whole pack of them may grab me, a little squirrel, and eat me. I don't even care. As long as I expose them all. Now we're going to continue with other rodent analogies. Let's go ahead and go to this clip of Obama openly here trying to sell you dictatorship. I can fix everything. Just let me do whatever I want. We've heard that before in history. Here it is.
The Senate blocked a bill that would have created this commission. So I'll issue an executive order that will allow us to go forward, because I refuse to pass this problem on to another generation of Americans. I know some here wish that I could just bypass Congress and change the law myself. I know there's some folks who wish I could just bypass Congress.
Super creepy.
I can. Now, I know some people want me to bypass Congress and change the laws on my own. Believe me. And
cheering for tyranny. Yes, we're idiots. We really think you're good. You remember the very same bankers Bush was.
And believe me, right now dealing with Congress, the idea...
Yes, we can get rid of Congress. Well, those folks would take your guns in a minute.
Believe me, the idea of doing things on my own is very tempting.
And then we've got him being sworn in, saying he'd protect and defend the Constitution. Yeah, one of the people he's putting forward with these recess appointments without ever trying to actually get him through Congress was named Chief Operating Officer of Citigroup's Alternative Investments Unit. He's a member of the Council on Foreign Relations, and it just goes over all of that. Yeah, replacing another mob boss daily. I mean, literal mafia. So this is the type of garbage that we deal with. Oh, man, it makes my head spin. Yeah, William Daley is resigning as White House Chief of Staff, and the Budget Chief, Jack Lew, will take his place. And no need to get him appointed. Who needs Congress? You can launch a war without him, whatever you want. Here's another clip from Real Clear Politics of Obama being creepy. Here it is.
These are ideas that have support from Democrats. They have support from Republicans around the country, independents around the country. I want to work with Congress to get them done. But when Congress refuses to act, and as a result hurts our economy and puts our people at risk, then I have an obligation as president to do what I can without them.
Hit pause for a minute. See, this is more recent. It was just a few weeks ago or like a week ago. This is what's happening. See, first, the last 3 years is it'd be great to not have Congress, but unfortunately, I got to follow the law. And then a few months later, maybe it would be good if they weren't there. Maybe I will do what I want. And now, years later, yep, I'm doing what I can. Launching war, shutting down power plants. And they're just like, yay, destroy the country faster. This new Lou guy's involved in all these energy companies and payoffs. And, I mean, it's just mind-blowing. Let's go back to the rest of the clip.
I've got an obligation to act on behalf of the American people.
The foreign
and
bankers?
I'm not going to stand by while a minority in the Senate puts party ideology ahead of the people that we were elected to serve.
Oh, you're not going to stand by.
Not at this make-or-break moment for middle-class Americans. We're not going to let that happen.
No, he's going to help you. Oh, he cares so much about you. That's enough. Thank you. He goes on and on. Yeah, this is the guy when Congress wouldn't give approval for the Libya situation. He just said, well, I get my authority from the UN. I mean, there's no reason to even have a Congress. And I'm not saying they're going to save us either. They're a bunch of crooks that need to be impeached. And again, it's out of this extreme criminality, this extreme arrogance towards the rule of law, Constitution, checks and balances, our protections, common sense, what makes America, America, that they sit there. It's like a bunch of body snatchers, you know, pointing at Ron Paul like he's the guy that's the weirdo. When really, I mean, if you study the Constitution Bill of Rights, Ron Paul is just following the Constitution. But it's so alien today because we've gone so far down this rat hole. Gazelle in Texas, thanks for holding. Then we're going to get to Eric and others. Go ahead, Gazelle.
Is this Cobra Commander?
Cobra currency will replace your dollar. I agree with the World Bank, and I love what's happening with the checkpoints. Cobra agrees.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. I wanted to, Alex, I wanted to know if you had heard about a series on Showtime called Homeland.
Yes, I know they've got a bunch of different made-for-TV shows, but also reality shows where Homeland Security teaches us how great it is to have checkpoints everywhere. It's all part of the dog training.
Yes, actually, the premise of this show follows a CIA officer who is the hero in the show, and two POWs, which are the black hats in the show. And they come back from the Middle East, and they return after being MIA for several years, only to be covert al-Qaeda sleeper cells within the U.S. And what I think is most notable about the series is that it was revealed on NBC Nightly News and other sources that Obama is a fan of the show and that he watches it.
No, they always, they had a Homeland Security celebration for 24 before it got, you know, canceled, worshiping it because it taught everyone to like torture. I mean, it's just so sick. But I know they also have a real Homeland Security show that follows Homeland Security around while they do all of their miscreant behavior. You know, it's come out that Obama lets the illegal aliens, even felons, go. We already knew this. Sheriffs have said this for a year, but now it's confirmed that they have hotlines for the illegals when they're in a jail for even committing a regular crime, and the Fed comes and gets them out. I mean, I ought to change my name to some illegal alien name and just prance around and be above the law and pay no taxes and be worshipped as supreme leader.
Indeed. I guess what's so disappointing about this is that this is basically the MIAC report depicted to a T, with returning veterans depicted as threats. And not only that,
and again, they're not depicting them as somebody who's going to get mad and kill themselves or their wife. They're depicting them as al-Qaeda, and that's what they say in these manuals. They actually teach it. We've published them. The police have sent us. And it's just a joke. I mean, obviously, the terrorists run the government, and the terrorists are trying to use Homeland Security against the American people. It's never been about al-Qaeda. I mean, al-Qaeda works for the criminals that run our country publicly. You know, I've got to get some snippets of it. I'm sure it's online and do an article about it. Thanks for the heads up. Eric in Colorado. And then Robert, Raymond. We'll get to most of you on the other side. I keep forgetting to plug this, by the way. We have the best gravity-fed filters out there. We tested a bunch of them and looked at all the ratings. They blow all the competition away. It's Pro-Pure, gravity-fed, stainless steel water filters available at Infowars.com. Hello, I'm Alex. All right, let's jam in a few more phone calls here. Let's talk to Eric in Colorado. Thank you for holding. Good to talk to you.
Alex, hey, how about that Tim Tebow?
Yeah, that's all I'm worried about is that football is great, and they're setting up federal checkpoints where they grab your genitals. But, hey, that's what freedom is about, and they're openly pushing forced inoculation and DNA databases when you get pulled over. And but the border is wide open, and the government publicly ships drugs in and guns out. So everything's great. Yep.
Just wondering your thoughts on the man. I mean, it was a great game last night. Don't know if you caught it or not, but
no, but I see it just here and there and read about it, and I'm glad that he's a Christian. I know he's been criticized for that, but yeah, I wonder if he's the type of Christian that thinks nuking anyone who isn't a Christian is Christian. If he's that type of Christian, I don't like him. What type of Christian is he?
Not sure. I think Southern Baptist.
I know he was homeschooled.
Yeah, he was.
Very interesting.
Other than that.
Oh, I wonder what he thinks of the fact the government wants to secretly arrest citizens and have us disappear into black holes. I wonder if that's important, or just praying to God that he win football games. Because, see, I'd pray to God that they not release a deadly bioweapon that they've been producing. I would pray to God that we not have World War III. I would pray to God that the honeybees stop dying en masse. You know what I mean? I appreciate your call. I would pray to God that they stop putting fluoride in the water. I would pray to God that we didn't have the highest cancer rate in the world and Alzheimer's exploding and just plagues upon us while we worship television and mindlessness. You see, let's go ahead and talk to Robert in California. Robert, welcome.
Hey, Alex. How are you?
Good, sir.
Yeah, I came up with an interesting idea, and I went down to, I live in the Bay Area, and I went down to United Nations Plaza like the week before Christmas, and I polled 232 people about whether they'd prefer world government to national sovereignty. So I thought you'd find that interesting.
And what did they say?
Well, I got 21% for world government.
And that's even in San Francisco where you're brainwashed with it. You know, that's where our government started the UN there, as you know.
Exactly. So I gave him home field advantage. I did it in the most liberal city in the world. And I also I used a leading question. I said, would you prefer world government or national sovereignty? So
but see, the globalists say they know best, so what you want doesn't matter because it's liberal and trendy.
Yeah, but I also asked them their age, and I kept track of their race, and I did a little bit of analysis of the demographic, and you'd find this really interesting. If you look at who is for world government, you could probably guess.
I would imagine that kind of academic establishment, government worker types.
Nope. Yeah, virtually every Latino I asked, or Hispanic, was for it, because there's no border. Virtually every homeless person I asked was for it. You know, I had people tell me world government. I'd see them picking out of a garbage can an hour later, or one guy said world government and then threatened to beat me up if I didn't give him $1 or $2. You know?
Well, the world government wants to kill everybody, the majority of the population. Wow. You ought to videotape that and show a composite and put it on YouTube. It'd be a big hit. You know, I'm just a regular guy. I need all of you, to be doing the same thing. Access TV, local radio shows, put it on YouTube. Start fighting. Start getting the word out. Powerful transmission, retransmission with Colonel Shaffer coming up now at Infowars.com. See you back tonight, 7.